As the sun set in the olden days, in the forgotten ages past, dropped from the moon was Nokomis. Dropped the lovely Nokomis, married bride but without child. She was visiting with her friends, sitting on a rope of weeds, when her enemy, the dejected, full of animosity and contempt, sliced her vines to drop, chopped in anger the spun ropes, and dropped Nokomis astounded, down through the sunset, onto the green valley, the Muscadet, onto the grass and flowers. Look, a dropping star, declared the humans. From the heavens a star is dropping. Landed among the planets and grasses, among the morning flowers, on the valley, the Muscadet. Sweet Nokomis gave birth to a girl, and she named her Winona, as the oldest of future daughters, was raised like the wild flowers, raised up to be a thin and willowy lass, with the looks of the starlight, with the wonder of the galaxies. Nokomis often scolded her, saying over and over again, "Stay away from Mudgekiwis, the west wind, Mudgekiwis. Do not ever do what he tells you to."
Don't sit yourself in the forest, do not bend around the flowers, should the west wind arrive to hunt you. But she didn't listen to those cautions, did not take the wise advice, and so the west wind arrived at dusk, strolling casually over the fields, talking softly to the flowers and trees, smelling the petals and foliage, and it discovered the lovely Winona, resting there amongst the flowers. He seduced her with his sweet language, seduced her with his light touch, until she sadly had a son that came from sadness. And so Hiawatha was born, a child of splendor, but in her grief Nokomi's daughter and Hiawatha's mother wept because the west wind was heartless and left her all alone. Nokomis wept for an extended period of time for her sad daughter. "Oh, I wish I was dead. I wish I were dead like you. No more toil, no more suffering, oh Winona." Near the shadows by Gitchiguni, near the glistening Big Sea water, perched the shelter of Nokomis, the daughter of the moon. The dim woods rose behind it, including the trees, flowers, and water. There the crippled old Nokomis nursed baby Hiawatha, held him in his small rocker, covered and embellished with moss and found in reindeer snooze. Calmed his fearful crying by saying, "Quiet, the naked bear will pick up your cries." Lulled him to sleep, singing to him, "My little owlet is the light of the house." Nokomi coached him in many things, taught him about celestial bodies, showed him the comets and space warriors and heroes.
Sparking far away to the north, in the cold winter nights, displayed Hedwig's white road, a path with spirits of shadows floating through Hiawatha, many ghosts and shadows. At the gate of summer night sat Hiawatha, to hear the quiet talking pine trees, heard the running water, heard the wondrous rhythms. "Minnehaha," said the pine trees, "Mudway Ayushma." Saw the lightning bug of Waha Kesu quickly pulling through the night, with the glow of the candle illuminating the bushes, and sang to the children, sang Nokomis' song. "Hey, rice fly, small flying insect, small dancing creature, light the candle, I lay on my bed."
So my eyes are closed while sleeping. Looking at the moon over the water, skewed reflection in the ocean, looking at the imperfections within, he said quietly, "Do you know what that is, Noko?" The respected Noko replied, "There was a soldier. He angrily took his grandma and rocketed her towards the night sky. Straight to the moon she went. When you look up, you'll see her." Looking at the colors of the sky, opposite of the west sky, the colors, saying quietly, "Do you know what that is, Noko?" The respected Noko replied, "The sky of plants you can see, entirely of natural plants in the wood, entirely of flowers in the wetlands, while on this world they disappear, glowing in the above sky. While listening to animals at night, singing, having fun in the woods, do you know what that is? Do you know what that is, Noko?" The respected Noko replied, "It's only an animal and baby, speaking naturally, speaking mad at one another." Afterwards, small Hiawatha was taught of all the birds' languages. He was taught of their ways, the techniques of constructing houses in the warmth, where to be in the cold. Speaks to him when he's there. Named them Hiawatha's chicken. All the animals he knew languages, taught the nicknames and their ways, the animals made buildings, location of the animals, places to put food.
The reindeer galloped so quickly, and the rabbit was so shy. Conversed together, they were known as Hiawatha's brothers. Iagu, the one who brags, he is the grand narrator. He is the wonder and the talker. He is the old Nokomi's friend. He created a weapon for Hiawatha. From a limb of remains, from an oak branch, he made the arrows, the top with fur and lined with feathers, and the rope made of deerskin. Then he ordered Hiawatha, "Go, my son, into the woods, where the herd of red deer are. Murder for us a known deer. Kill us a deer with antlers." Deep into the straight woods, Hiawatha traveled alone, heroically with bow and arrow in hand, and the birds chirping loudly. "Don't shoot, Hiawatha," chirped the robin, the opije, chirped the bluebird, the owasso. "Don't kill us, Hiawatha." Far up in the oak tree close to him jumped the squirrel Adijemu, moving around the limbs, coughed and wrestled in the oak tree, laughed and stated in between. He said, "Don't kill me, Hiawatha." And the rabbit appeared from his path, jumped, and at a great distance sat straight up in a frolic. Was in a panic, and he told the tiny hunters, "Don't kill me, Hiawatha."
He didn't listen, 'cause he was thinking about that red deer. On the footsteps he stared, going to the creek, to the bridge across the creek as he sleepwalked. Hiding in the bush, he stalked the buck, till he saw his horns. He saw its eyes from the bushes, saw the nose smell the wind, and the deer walk down the trail. Lit by leaves and shadows, as his heart beat, he shook like the leaves. He quivered like a kyler tree, and a deer walked down the trail. Chillin' on one knee, Hiawatha shot a bow and arrow. He barely moved. He didn't make a noise. But the cautious roe deer jumped, stomped his feet, listened with one hoof in the air, jumped to meet the arrow. Oh, the whistling, killing missile stung him like a bumblebee. Deceased, he planked in the woods, by the bridge near the creek. His scared heart ain't beatin', but Hiawatha's heart jumped and screamed and was happy. As he carried the buck home, Iagoo and Nokomis gave him a shout-out with clappin'. From the deer skin, Nokomis made a coat for Hiawatha. From the deer's meat, Nokomis made a big dinner for him. All the town came to eat. All the people rewarded Hiawatha.